TikTok one step closer to being banned in the U.S. A bipartisan bill which requires the social media platform to acquire American ownership or face a ban in this country now heads to the Senate for a vote after passing the House. And lawmakers say the threat is that the popular platform gives the Chinese government access and influence over the American population. They say a similar U.S. platform would never be allowed in China. Former Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is building an investor group right now to try to acquire TikTok. But TikTok's CEO already implying that the sale of the platform is not an option. NewsNation's Joe Connell tracking all of this for us live in D.C. Joe, are lawmakers indicating that this bill could pass the Senate?
It's really hard to tell right now, Natasha. I mean, obviously, this bill has made a lot of waves since it passed the House. But here in the Senate, I've been talking to Democrats and Republicans over the last 24 hours. There's no real consensus right now as to what's ultimately going to happen with this bill. People aren't sure if the House version is going to be the one that they vote on, whether there's going to be a vote at all. There's a lot of differing opinions. The one thing that everyone seems to agree on is all senators I've talked to say the Chinese threat is very real. The idea that the Chinese government has such power to influence what especially younger users of TikTok see every day and sort of manipulate messaging is something that they take very seriously. But I've been hearing a number of different ideas. Some senators say that they would support this bill as written. Others say that there are certain mechanisms the government can do to maybe force a sale of TikTok from ByteDance to American owners. And then there are others still that say they don't have enough information yet. They want to get a classified briefing from the intelligence community maybe before they make any decisions. I want to give you just a little sampling of what we heard. These are two Republican senators that I spoke to yesterday.
170 million Americans use TikTok, and they have First Amendment rights here. TikTok, when it's operating in the United States, has First Amendment rights. I don't take that lightly. But national security may surpass those First Amendment rights.
This is their espionage arm and their propaganda arm, that they are absolutely out there trying to brainwash our children. We need to stand up and slow down the Chinese attack on our youth.
So differing opinions there, as you've seen just now. The biggest supporters of this bill, Marco Rubio and Mark Warner in the Senate, Republican and Democrat, who are at the top of the Intelligence Committee. So they have seen things relating to TikTok and China that the rest of the body has not seen. We know Chuck Schumer is the crucial person. He's the majority leader. He will decide what happens with this bill. And so far, he's basically said virtually nothing. He just said, we're going to review it, and that's basically it. I do want to quickly point out that TikTok is not going to take this lying down. And ByteDance, their parent company, has a really powerful lobbying arm. And some of the people they have lobbying for them now were very influential people on Capitol Hill. Take a look at this list. Trent Lott, he was the Senate Majority Leader. He is what Chuck Schumer is right now. Years ago, he's now getting paid by TikTok. Joe Crowley, a man who was the #3 Democratic House leader, a few steps behind Nancy Pelosi, someone who many Democrats thought might be Speaker of the House one day before he lost his seat. And then you see the other Senator John Breaux and Jeff Denham, a former House member. These are just the actual members of Congress who were working in this building now working for TikTok. That doesn't even count all of the former staffers of people like Kevin McCarthy, Nancy Pelosi, and others who had a lot of sway in this building, also now being paid by TikTok. They put a lot of money into this lobbying effort, so they're going to fight this, and we're going to see ultimately which side sort of wins out here and what happens to this House bill that's already making a lot of waves.
Yeah, certainly generating so many headlines, so many millions of Americans watching this. Yeah. Joe Connell with the very latest in D.C. Thank you for that.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.